She's 44. I mean, she has 2 children, and coming back, it's normal that she's not her best in terms of movement. I mean, she hasn't played a match in so many years. So people need to cool off a little bit with the judgment and criticism and everything. Let's just enjoy the greatness and who she is and what she represents to the sport. Her wanting to just give it a try and just come back is an incredible gift for a sport. And I think people sometimes, I don't know why they don't appreciate that enough. They just start to, speculate, judge, or whatever. It's like, hey guys, enjoy. I mean, you have the greatest ever coming to play for you, to bring more attention to your sport. I mean, it's for me, I just don't understand this kind of thinking and this kind of approach by people and judgment. But people are people. This is something they're gonna do. But I really support Serena, always have, and hopefully she's gonna play more.
Now that is an absolute first on the body serve. Quoting Novak Djokovic and agreeing with him.
As a cold open?
Wild times we're living in.
Welcome back to the body serve. I'm James.
I'm Jonathan. We are at the quarterfinal stage of this year's tournament. Only just because that guy got caught by the curfew police.
Mm-hmm.
And so up 2-0 on Lehechka, and in the middle of that third set, he has to come back tomorrow to complete the full roster of quarterfinals. Love that for him.
So we've got 15 of 16 quarterfinalists set.
Let's just run through them before we walk back through the first
Sure.
week. On the men's side, Yannick Sinner pushed through a bloody foot in the first round to make it to the quarterfinals, where he will play 36-year-old Jan-Lennard Struff. Felix Auger-Aliassime, back-to-back slams where he's made the quarterfinals. He plays Novak Djokovic. Flavio Cobolli, looking to pull a Jasmine Paolini, at least, at this tournament. He plays Arthur Ferry in the quarterfinals. A stunning result for the Englishman. And then Taylor Fritz thankfully won through to the quarterfinals, where he will play, likely, his pigeon.
Yep, Taylor has a 10-5 record against that guy, including the last 7 of their matches. Now, I don't want to jinx anything, because that guy is now a major champion. He's also now making it through the Wimbledon draw. We'll remind you, he had never been to a quarterfinal here. Still hasn't, but we'll see.
Right, but if there were a time for this matchup to continue in that direction, it would be on this surface. You would think.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor, having made the semifinals of Wimbledon last year, having won grass tournaments, 5 I think you said on the preview episode,
Mm-hmm.
and this clearly being that guy's worst surface. Did you catch my Paolini reference?
Yep.
Okay, you got
Meaning he's trying to match her as an Italian reaching the final of Wimbledon? Is that what you meant?
No.
Oh.
Reaching the final of the French Open and Wimbledon in the same year.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that. The final totally slipped my mind for some reason. The matchups here, Felix and Novak have only played twice, which, how? And they're 1-1. Interestingly, Ferry leads Cobolli 1-0. Arthur beat him at this year's Australian Open. I told you, watch out for Struff in the first round, and now he's here in the quarterfinals. Sinner does lead him 3-0.
I think I was kind of annoyed when you mentioned him because you were getting too much into the minutiae of the draw.
Finally, I'm right on a prediction, and you want to shut me up.
But these are the things that you as listeners need to listen for whenever we're flippant or glib about something, or something seems to be a throwaway mention of a player in a preview episode. That person's going to do well. For Felix, I want you to tell me how many times he's now made at least the quarterfinals of a slam. This is his blank.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not third.
At least the quarterfinal. Oh, okay. I would say 6th.
It is 6th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not look that up.
And it's 3 in the last less than 12 months. So he actually seems to be turning a corner in his career, despite how frustrated he was with his loss at the French Open.
Yeah.
On the women's side, this top half is just so exciting. Naomi Osaka against Karolina Muchova and Jessie Pegula against Coco Gauff. Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff both in their first Wimbledon quarterfinal. Just a wonderful turn of events for me, personally. And to have it happen on the same day, chef's kiss. In the bottom half, Marta Kostyuk against Jasmine Paolini, a resurgent Jasmine Paolini, and continuing to hatch Linda Noskova against one of the most consistently paid women in tennis, Elisa Mertens. If she's playing a tennis tournament, she's going to cash a check of some significant value.
She's got no problem paying her mortgage. She is consistency queen, third round queen for many years. I think this is her 4th slam quarterfinal.
Correct. And first since when?
I don't know. Like 2021?
2020.
Oh, okay. Like you said, this is such a killer quarterfinal lineup. The top half was stacked in the round of 16. I was really, really hoping that Madison got through the bottom half. She was my fave coming through there, but she lost in straight sets to Noskova today. Noskova Mertens have never met, but like you said, Noskova is really on a tear. Like, this could be a huge breakthrough for her. Paolini leads Kostyuk 2-1, and of course she's a former runner-up here. Osaka Muchova, the surface would seem to favor Muchova by quite a bit, but Naomi has truly been stunning in these first 4 matches. They are 3-3 overall.
They were to play a couple weeks ago, but Naomi had to withdraw or retire in the final down a set.
Yeah, so that does count as one of the 3 losses, and they're only meeting on grass. And finally, former doubles partners, Big Mama and Lil Mama, Pegula and Gauff. Peggy leads 5-3, and they've met twice on grass, splitting their meetings. We'll get into more of the details later, but let's talk about kind of the theme that has jumped out to me and kind of always does in these past few years is the surface. Grass feels like such an outlier at this point in tennis. It's an important surface in tennis history, but with the changes in technology and the way the game is played, it is so difficult to predict. And grass tennis is not played in the way that it was originally intended to be played.
That was a lot of words.
It was, yeah.
I think where you're coming from, there's been a lot of talk about this statistic that this year will be the 10th different woman in a row to win this title. And there hasn't been, obviously, a back-to-back repeat champion since the Williams sisters. Part of that is maybe because Ashley Barty retired. She quite possibly could have 5 by now. Who knows?
But who knows? She could have been a multiple winner.
Yeah. We, of course, were spoiled because of Venus and Serena in that regard to think that it's easy. They won 12 between them.
In just a 17-year span between 2000 and 2016.
And we're in a lot of those other finals where neither of them won.
Right. But looking through the Open era history, Steffi won, 7? Martina Navratilova won 9. Billie Jean King, Margaret Court, like Wimbledon, more so than even the other majors, was a place that was dominated.
Style of play is completely different now. I think that is a huge part of it. You only need to look at the wear and tear of the court to see how the game has changed. Every year, the baselines get more worn and more worn earlier. Like the center of the baseline right now on center court is a complete mess.
Right. And this is a cliche at this point. Like, we've seen it for the past 2 decades. But the fact that Naomi Osaka, until this year, I don't think she hit a slice one time. Like, the traditional grass approach shots are not being used like they used to. Certain players feel like throwbacks, like Grigor Dimitrov looks like a throwback, but still, at heart, he's an aggressive baseliner. Of course, he does come to the net. He looks like Roger Federer, kind of, but it's not what it was.
All this is to say It's part of a little segment here.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you want to say about it?
Well, early in the tournament, a bunch of the recent grass titleists went out. Back to back to back. We lost Ben Shelton, who in our preview I said was probably one of that second tier of people really contending for the title. He had won in Stuttgart. Cerundolo won Queens. He was out early. Robin Montgomery, who had won Sertogenbosch. And in a lesser loss, I would say Donna Vekic, the Queens winner, lost to the Ilkley 125 champ Ashlyn Kruger, who made it all the way to the round of 16. So originally, I was like, do not win a grass lead up. Do not. It's the kiss of death. On the other hand, that was maybe a false alarm, because the other grass winners, Madison, Muchova, Ayala, Noskova, Boskova, all of them reached the second week.
And on the men's side, less successful, but still not a total blank. Bergs and Tiafoe made the third round. And Alejandro made the round of 16.
Right. So if you're a man, maybe don't win a grass tune-up event. But on the women's side, it's less of a hindrance. But I think the fact that we're all over the place here shows it like there's very little to take away from this very short grass season. Firstly, it's too brief. The sample size is too small. And I think that some players, the grass suits them well and they're going to adapt quickly and win right away. Other players who might eventually excel, they just need a little bit more time to adapt. Or, they have bodies with injuries that might be aggravated more easily based on the surface. And you could probably put Rafael Nadal in both of those camps, right? As somebody who needs a little time to adapt and whose body prevented him from really playing at his best for a lot of the career.
He said in his documentary, if you've watched it, that the barren years for him at Wimbledon had to do with not being able to bend as low as he needed to be successful on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Having to do with the knee problems that he had. And we're seeing at this tournament, specifically with Naomi Osaka, how low she's getting in these rallies and how that's directly translated into great success for her. A lot of people lost early in this tournament. The men's seeds from 17 onwards were a complete disaster.
14 onward.
Well, I mean, let's just say 17.
But the top 10 is mostly still intact on the men's side. On the women's side, we've got numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8 all out before the quarterfinals. Number 1, Sabalenka, of course, out to Naomi Osaka in the round of 16. Rybakina out in the third round. Swiatek out within a few hours of her. Andreeva out in the second round to 2024 champ Krejcikova. Anisimova, last year's runner-up, out in round 3. And finally, Svitolina out in round 1.
Let's talk about some of the women's matches that stood out to us in the first week. Not an exhaustive list, but a list that is limited by us having watched them. So there may have been other more exciting or more interesting matches, but I'm not going to sit here and fake talk about it when I can talk more specifically to something that I've seen, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to start with Naomi Osaka against Aryna Sabalenka, because this was a seismic win for Naomi, and I think it could reverberate longer on the WTA Tour. I watched Naomi beat Donna Vekic at the French Open on Simone Mathieu, and she looked so eager and ready for something to click. Like, she was playing well, but she'd still have moments where stuff would not quite be all there, but she was determined. And she resisted everything Donna threw at her, and she got through, eventually losing to Sabalenka in the fourth round. You could see her cresting. She made the final of Bad Homburg, and then the injury that caused her to retire in that final kind of cast a cloud over what she would look like at this tournament, when in fact what she's ended up looking like is winning 8 straight sets in a row to reach the quarterfinals for the first time, and causing Aryna to have her worst and earliest loss at a slam since 2022. And also ending Aryna's tiebreak record in slams, her streak, quite easily. She said, "This was not a problem for me."
That's what was really remarkable to me is that Aryna has won 21 straight tiebreaks in majors. This felt like, Novak had a similar streak where they just felt so impregnable in tiebreaks once it got there. And Naomi reeled through that second set tiebreak 7-2. She only lost 5 points on her first serve throughout the whole match, and she just felt very dialed in, even when Aryna put up a bigger fight in the second set, and you felt that anything could happen, right? Naomi wasn't unbeatable in this match, but she was simply playing at a very high level, and her serve never let her down.
She was not bullied from the baseline, even when Aryna was, "Here she comes."
Which you expect.
Naomi stood her ground and went toe-to-toe with her from the baseline. And there was a fluidity in her movement that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
A fluidity which then leads to an aura on court, a confidence on court that's been missing from her since her slam winning days.
You mentioned that she was getting down more easily, like bending her knees, but apparently she and Viktorovsky have been working on her movement to the net as well, and that was very clear. One thing you could often do to Naomi is get her with drop shots. And Aryna tried, but she was anticipating well and she was moving forward well.
The improved movement wasn't just laterally, it was absolutely changing directions and moving toward the net.
Mm-hmm.
She's never moved like that in the midcourt. And she also basically didn't miss from the midcourt. A lot of these power players, once you get them off the baseline and they have to hit a ball with an abbreviated swing or consider more topspin to find the winner from the midcourt, it's not easy. You see a lot of errors, but her precision from the midcourt was truly stunning as well. It was just from top to bottom a revelation, this match.
Yeah, Naomi still hits so flat. Like, there is so little room for error in what she does that I was pretty amazed at how she was able to close this match out. Her first top 10 win off of hard courts.
Crazy.
Can you believe that?
I cannot believe that. I want you to reconsider whether you think Naomi will ever win another slam, because you've said definitively on this show before that you don't think she will.
Mm-hmm. I think this coaching relationship has turned out to be a really good match for her. I mean, you can see it in her results. Like, on paper, it looks like a good match. It seems like they're working on the right things. And more importantly, she looks confident. She looks like she really wants to be here. And really, for her, it was going to boil down to, am I seeing results? Because if I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to want to continue doing this, take time away from my kid, that sort of thing. Now she's seeing the results, and she looks like, oh, I'm a star again. I remember what this feels like.
You did not answer my question.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think she
so?
can. I don't know if she'll win this one, but I think she can win majors.
This is not to say that she's going to win this tournament, right? I know we've been very hyperbolic and effusive in our praise of her play so far. She could very easily lose to Muchova tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And that would not be a surprise either. Karolina is a formidable player who's also in great form on grass. But I think what this tournament has shown is that we have seen a Naomi that looks like the Naomi of old, which we haven't really seen till now.
To be honest, I did not expect her to win this match. I didn't expect her to beat Sabalenka. I thought Sabalenka looked good in her first 3 matches. I know people are acting like the sky is falling. Somebody asked her in press, do you still feel like the number one player? They are so lucky that she answered it how she did, which was more self-deprecating, because my answer would be like, what the fuck do you mean? Do I feel like the number one player? If I'm not, who is? Who's close in the rankings? And tell me who's better than me.
You're not going to win every match.
Right. And also, of the top players, who is scratching and fighting for that ranking? Because I don't see anybody.
I think what also looks different for Naomi here, big picture with her career, is that she's figured out how to play on all surfaces now. which is a huge difference from Naomi 1.0.
Yeah.
So now she has confidence on all surfaces, whereby
Well,
she has more opportunities to win more than 4 titles in her career.
yeah. Do you want to talk about her look?
Stunning.
This is the most gorgeous of all of them, and it seems the least controversial because it's just beautiful. It's nice to look at. It's this kimono inspired look. It's all white, of course, embroidered with cherry blossoms and cranes. It was designed by the Tokyo-based designer Hana Yagi.
It is also a nod to Oren Ishii from Kill Bill.
Yeah, that's Lucy Liu's character. Lucy Liu, has anyone ever looked better in a movie? Like ever? Like, she was so incredibly gorgeous in that movie.
Has anybody ever looked better dying in a movie?
Losing their head. Literally. Part of it. That's, I feel like it's been 23 years. There's no spoilers. But
it was just a head top.
Yeah, just the head top. But she was wearing a white kimono when that happened. Just briefly, there's not a lot of like clothing news at Wimbledon. I will say I really liked Serena's mesh. It was Nike's new Airflow technology.
Yes.
It's a very cute look. The warm-up jacket over it was great. Novak's blazer with shorts. What are we doing here? Why are we reheating Roger Federer's nachos? Because it was cringe when he did it too.
Taylor Fritz tried it.
Yeah, Hugo Boss gave him this oversized suit. Again, men, there's got to be something else.
There is something else, but you're not willing to try it.
Yeah.
This idea that Naomi and Serena are the only ones who are doing this kind of thing and they're doing too much. The men do it too, they're just doing too little.
Well,
they're not doing enough.
But they don't really. Like this is remarkable because it rarely happens.
Go and come out with an umbrella. Like you're singing in the rain or
like
something,
Like you're the penguin.
Give us Tom Holland.
Anything. No, I appreciate that the men are trying something different, but we've seen this, guys.
The Naomi Sabalenka match was a round of 16 match. Later that same day, we closed play with Coco Gauff and Belinda Bencic. This match went right down to the wire before curfew.
Coco started super strong. She's serving in the 120s and then throws in this game with 5 double faults. She still held in that game to go up 3-love. But then Bencic claws back to 3-all. I'm like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Belinda has woken up. She has the type of game that could trouble Coco, especially on grass, if Coco's not, connecting on the forehand, if she's making silly errors. You saw, just deceleration at certain points where, a ball would, barely reach the net. And I'm like, oh, God, we could be in trouble here.
She was not locked in. She had stretches of good play. She was committed to this strategy of going all out with the serve.
Mm-hmm.
Her serve speeds, the average serve speeds at this tournament are way up compared to her rest of time on tour, big time. What we saw, though, was after she lost the first set, her game started to click.
Mm-hmm.
She played so stinking well the last half of this match. I mean, it was so impressive. And for Sorana Cirstea to have to sit there and watch her bestie go through that made it even sweeter.
I'm so glad she got to watch it. This is why Coco is 18-3 in 3-set matches and slams. She wins the match with an unreturned serve less than 2 minutes before curfew. It's 10:58 p.m. and she taps her wrist and looks at her box. This was a nod to Damian Lillard. Dame time. Did you know that?
Did you know who that was before?
I mean, I knew the name. I didn't know. No. I saw Coco repost a story about it.
What was at stake here was Coco serving at 5-4 to try and close it out. If she had lost that game, she'd have had to come back today with Belinda serving at 5-all in a very precarious position.
Yeah.
She had 5 minutes to get this done, and she took 3. She bossed that final game.
Yeah. The curfew thing, I kind of get it, guys. I do. I get both sides. I know people were complaining about it. This is not new. It's something we know is going to happen. Wimbledon always says they don't have a night session, but they've given you sort of this backdoor night session lately because center court starts at 1:30. There are 3 matches. A lot of these matches have been going all the way up to 11 p.m.
Well, they could also start these matches earlier, but they have the rich people to feed.
Yeah. Each major has their thing. Wimbledon says we cannot possibly change the start time of center court because the VIPs need to eat their luncheon. But I do get it. And we'll talk about this, probably in our wrap up, like these agreements that they sign with the Wimbledon community or the Merton Council that, okay, we'll do this thing if you let us get a roof. Or we're going to buy this golf course across the street, but we promise never to use it. Okay, sure. But in this case, it was, if you let us build the roof, we will implement a curfew of 11 p.m. We'll never go past it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, once you do, like once you break that agreement, you're never going back. And it gets later and later and later.
And what's wrong with sending the players home at a reasonable hour? Some would say that 11 p.m. is already an unreasonable hour, given that they're going to need to do press engagements afterward. What the US Open does is criminal.
Well, that's my thing, right? Like, I love the US Open night session as a fan. I'm up late, but why should players have to play till 1, 2 in the morning, or sometimes even later?
Coco gets to the quarterfinals of this tournament finally. You recall, as a 15-year-old, she made the 4th round in her first attempt.
Yeah.
When she beat Venus Williams. I remember where I was when she beat Venus Williams. I was disgusted.
Mm-hmm.
Happy for her then, but I was not happy with the result that day.
Yeah. Iga versus Alex Iala was another one. This was disappointing. And clearly, Alex was going to be a tough out for her. It's a surface she loves. But Iga said afterward she was having trouble with Ayala's serve, which is basically like a nothing, a no-pace serve, one of the slowest in the top 50. And she made a fair point, right? Like, you're used to returning pace. When you get these puff balls, you get stuck in no man's land. You're returning closer to the net than you might be comfortable doing.
Which you then have to adjust your backswing, your natural motion.
Right. And I hear you, but you gotta figure that out. You're not going to get a lot of sympathy that you were returning 75 mile per hour serves and you couldn't do it. Right. And also the forehand was, wow. When you see the type of damage Iga's forehand can do at its best, I'm just perplexed. You don't have to do all the topspin here. In fact, you maybe should not want to. You got to adjust.
The calls are getting louder for something to change with this psychologist lady. Because if you're a sports psychologist and the psychology is not psychologying for your pupil, what is your purpose? And so now people are starting to be louder about what her actual role is in the team.
All right. So we're going to talk about Serena's return.
Her return was not good. The return game was not good.
The return of serve. That's cheeky. Okay. Maya Joint has not had a great year, has seen a slight uptick in the past few weeks, but
only just.
She felt that her game had improved over the past few weeks, and she was feeling a little bit more confident.
Well, this is what we said on the preview episode, right? She is the perfect player for this spot, for this moment.
Right.
And when I saw the walkout, and I saw the two of them backstage before they come out, Serena looks like a complete bag of nerves. Which makes sense. And it doesn't help that you get the jump scare of that guy being right there shirtless.
Shirtless?
Shirtless.
I know.
I was shook. I don't know what Serena felt like in that moment.
Put on some clothes. And then Felix walked by, and she didn't acknowledge him either. Like, she's in game mode. She's got the headphones on.
But Maya comes out, and she kind of looks up, and she's taking in the applause for Serena in the moment, and she has a little smirk on her face. It's like, she's going to try it. I just know it. I know she's going to try it. She's ready for this moment. And she was from the jump. From the jump, she was ready for it.
She was, yeah. The game itself, Serena's serve looked great. Ball striking looks great when she can put herself in position to hit. But really, movement is the thing. Like, movement is going to make or break whatever this is. If this is a comeback or if this is just a taste, that's what's going to do it. No WTA player gives up in the middle of points, right? There were balls that she wasn't running to, and there were returns that she should have gotten. And that's just the fact of the matter.
Well, she says after the match that she injured her knee in the first set. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Sure.
In retrospect. But having just watched the match, these were the things that stood out. Maybe she would have pushed herself more, because that's the type of thing that you do if you are carrying an injury.
Right.
You preserve, you don't extend in certain areas, you pick your spots. So we'll have to see.
And that was always risky coming back on grass, where you can easily pick up an injury slipping one time, right? It only takes one time.
She was also very conservative in her ground strokes.
Yes.
She played a lot to the middle of the court. She played with a lot of margin. And that strategy can work if your opponent isn't certain or assured from the baseline themselves, which was not the case in this situation.
Yeah. Maya was hitting with higher speeds on both the forehand and backhand, which didn't surprise me overall. Like, I don't know why the commentators were acting brand new about that. Serena is 44. She hasn't played in 4 years. She's not really an active WTA player. Why would you be surprised that Maya Joint's hitting harder than she is?
But also, this was not unknowable. This is how Serena played for a lot of her career. People had this misconception that she was a ball basher, that she blew everybody off the court. But she played with a lot of spin.
Especially, I mean, from the beginning, yes. Like, go watch the 99 US Open and the angles. But especially like in the 2010s, that was part of the strategy, was keep yourself in points. You don't need to bash every single thing.
She can. She probably still can.
Right.
But that's not how she typically plays.
Now, overall, I actually was pleasantly surprised by the way she played. I know a lot of fans were disgusted. They don't want to see any more. And I'm just like, okay, what did you expect? Like, you know, a lot of the trolls are like, ha ha ha, she lost. You thought she was going to do such and such. I thought no such thing. Right? My expectations were pretty low.
Waste of a wild card. Well, guess what? It's the highest watched women's Wimbledon match in years. In a first round. So, like, eyeballs on the tournament, people are making money from it. What more do you think the organizers want from this wild card?
They took an opportunity from a young player.
Could not have spent the wild card better.
I mean, if we're going to talk about fairness, the only young players who really get opportunities at majors are players from countries who host majors.
Arthur Ferry is there because he's British.
He's British, right?
He's in the quarterfinals now. He got a wild card.
You get a few reciprocal wild cards from the other tournaments. Wimbledon is actually more generous and less patriotic than the other slams, believe it or not, in the way that they give out wild cards.
I was so pissed at that guy because he just man-spreaded on that center court ahead of Serena's match. And I thought I would have so much time to watch the entire thing before work, and that just simply was not the case. Because he pushed his way to a 4-set win.
The Roland Garros champion?
That guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask this on air. Why do people call him Rat? I suspect, I know, not? But I want to know if there's a specific reason that I'm missing.
I assume they were looking for a disparaging rodent-like nickname. But
does it have something to do with the teeth as well? Like the incisors?
Wow. I don't know. I never went there.
Oh.
Oh, you're going to get a body shame accusations now.
I just don't know. I don't call him that. I don't think I've ever called him that on the air.
I don't think so.
I may have on the internet.
Probably.
But I just want to know. So if y'all know for sure
the provenance,
if there's an origin story for this outside of, you know, a rodent to fit the abhorrent behavior, then let us know.
I will say I enjoyed the experience, I guess. Like, I sort of enjoyed it. Being able to watch Serena again was surreal. I do wonder what she's looking for this comeback. Like, I hope she got what she was looking for. Was I?
Oh, well, she definitely did not get what she was looking for. What are you talking about? A knee injury, not being able to play doubles with Venus, losing in the first round? She was not happy with that.
Okay, well, my questions were like, do you think she expected to win this match? And do you think she was massively disappointed by the result? And to me, like, I'll answer. I think it's probably yes to both. I think when you're a champion like this, you have a level of delusion that not many of us have. She probably expected to win this. She was probably embarrassed by the result. I don't think she has any reason to be embarrassed at all, but I think she was probably devastated.
I'm so glad that we waited to record till today and that we didn't do a mid-first week episode, because I was heated with the initial reaction to her loss. People talking about how she was disrespectful to Maya Joint because of the fully outstretched handshake that's only given to people when she's super mad and it's so disrespectful, and they give proof of prior times she's done it.
Right. Let's do an inventory of all WTA first round handshakes at Wimbledon. We got to see them all.
That the handshake was too brief, that she didn't have nice words to say to her. It was just a drive, not even, it wasn't a drive-by, but it just wasn't nice. And then, oh, she skipped press. Oh my God, she skipped press. She skipped press, James.
Call the FBI.
And then we get all these rage-baiting tweets, skeets, messages, you know. But let's be clear here. You probably got more engagement from writing that tweet skeet than if you were to actually have gotten some throwaway quotes from Serena.
Oh, yes.
And you also didn't have to do the work of writing an article about it. So, like, it's a win for everybody, isn't it?
Now, I recognize that it's a player's responsibility to meet with the press. We're not surprised that Serena didn't come to press. Venus has missed many, many times. As a matter of course.
Many.
What is that?
It's a dancehall song.
Oh. No, I'm not saying it's great, but it's boring, right? And so people who talk about tennis for a living are the ones hurt by it. So they're the ones tweeting about it, right? Those people have big audiences. Those are the ones saying, this is horrible. She needs to be punished. I mean, we saw some like damn near carceral tweets about like, this cannot stand. Like, well, what are you going to do? Like, you going to throw her in jail? Like, I get that it's not cute. It's not cute to skip press, but it's also like, it's not the end of the world. And so being on social media, it felt like, oh my Lord, it felt like the 2010s all over again. I never wanted to relive this shit. She just inspires such heated emotions from everyone.
She comes into press and she says, yeah, I had a knee injury. Then it's like, oh, well, I didn't see any knee injury. I just saw an old lady who can't move.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, is she going to pull out of doubles because of this made up injury? You know, I get the impulse of who she is to want to keep things close to the vest, especially in this situation. I also get why people be mad at it. I just don't understand why people are willing to go through this again. It's all been worn over. It's all been talked about.
Yeah. There's a deep one, a deep cut.
And nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change from this. And I was so annoyed at myself for getting as annoyed as I did. Anyway, I guess the day after, Jill comes out and says, you know, she picked up an injury, which Jill almost never talks about stuff. Jill, her agent. And then eventually, we're on doubles watch. Is she going to play doubles with Venus? They keep getting pushed back to the farthest, latest possible start time for their match. Serena eventually posts all the images and the videos of what she's been dealing with. The syringes with the fluid that was drained from her knee. And she says in the caption, I'm heartbroken to have to withdraw from doubles. Coming back to compete again has been a gift. And the opportunity to play alongside at Venus Williams once more meant the world to me. I did everything I could to be ready, but unfortunately my knee just isn't ready to compete. I'm especially grateful to the tournament director Jamie Baker and the entire tournament team for giving me every opportunity to play here. Thank you to the fans for your incredible support and for making this comeback so meaningful. All I can say is stay tuned to a city near you, ...
I hope it's this city. Toronto, Ontario.
I'll be clearing my schedule that week. I'll be in North York. I'll be making that 1-hour journey. The photo of the syringes show the fluid they drained from my knee after my singles match. Yikes. The good news is my knee shouldn't swell or collect that much fluid again. The bad news is that as hard as I tried, I just wasn't able to get it ready for doubles. And that's that.
Yeah. I mean, clearly she did that because she's petty, like me. And she said, oh, you thought it was fake. You were writing that my injury was fake. So here it is. Here's the fluid.
Or implying it.
You want to ask me about my drugs? Because that's what it was, right?
So, we're probably going to see Serena this summer on the tennis schedule. She's probably most definitely playing the US Open. Spare thought for Venus, because Venus was in doubles at the French Open, had to miss that because her partner, Haley Baptiste, suffered a horrific injury and now doesn't get to play doubles at Wimbledon with Serena because she's injured. And her mixed doubles partner at this tournament, she picked a ringer. Somebody who was,
Right. You think, you pick. Let me pick among the best. Who wants to play with me? Kevin Kravitz.
They lost 6-4, 6-4, a break in each set. Both times, Mr. Kevin pulled a Rajiv Ram.
He was the only one to get broken. Venus held. Like, come on. Will somebody stand up for Auntie Venus? Please. I know Serena will be back because she wants to see Grigor again. She wants one of those hugs. She wants to touch those biceps again.
That was quite the reunion. And they were reunited and it clearly felt so good. Let's move on to the men. You have here written, quote, everyone keeps saying Sinner doesn't look great. I don't believe it.
Don't believe it. Don't be fooled. He may not look great, but he almost lost to Dimitrov last year.
Don't be fooled by the bloody socks that I got.
Oh, God.
I'm still Yannick from the Alps.
Like his... wow. Oh, wow. I need to stop and listen when you...
There's just...
when you spit a few bars,
Gems upon really gems upon gems life here.
Gems life. Yannick's fans are pretty upset. They're saying that Yannick looks terrible. I mean, he doesn't look his best. The forehand's not great, but I'm just saying, I don't believe it. Players of his caliber will turn it on when necessary, until I'm proven wrong. The opening match was weird. He was bleeding through his shoe. It was visible on TV. It turned out it was a nail problem. Yeah, I figured it was a blister, but apparently it was a nail. And Kecmanovic is a shot maker, right? He was really putting Yannick through it. But Yannick had an incredible day on serve, which is really what saved him. 31 aces, 63% of first serves in, and of those first serves, 89% won. But he was having some uncharacteristic problems off the ground, and mostly on the backhand, at least from what I saw.
Grigor Dimitrov made the fourth round. He was less than two games away from winning that fourth round match in 4 sets against Arthur Ferry and to reach the quarterfinals. It did not happen. It ended up being an experience that I did not enjoy ultimately. It was, quite frankly, harrowing to watch.
The vibes were so good. He had beaten Berrettini in 5 sets. There was this brief scare where they were going to close the roof at 8:30 p.m. in between sets, and Grisha got heated because he told us that he feels like last year he cooled down while the roof was closing, and that's what contributed to his pec injury against Jannik Sinner. He got over it. He realized, okay, I have no power here. They're going to close the roof now anyway. I was wondering, why is Matteo going off the court with his rackets and everything? Like, not so fast, babe. This isn't going to take that long. And that may have contributed to Grigor's, anxiety about it. So, coming off that, I was like, oh, God. Okay, you have a British wildcard as your round of 16 opponent? This is amazing.
He beat Sweeney in straight sets in the first round. Had a great win against Jakub Menšík in the second round, winning in 4 sets. After that match, you know, the on-court presenter says, do you know who you're playing next? And then he tells him, and he asks for his reaction. And then Grigor says, quote, if nothing else, it's going to be a pretty match. Now, girl.
Grigor knows he's hot. And with most men, this would be so icky. But for some reason with him, it doesn't turn me off.
I suspect there's very few things Grigor could do to turn you off.
Right. But with most men, it's like, oh, you know you're hot? Never mind.
Like when, what's his name? I can never remember his name. The Brazilian from this season of Love Island.
Gabe.
When Gabe comes on, you're like, oh my God, an actual bombshell. And then he starts behaving cringe from the jump.
Yeah.
And like everything that came out of his mouth was cringe. And it was over before it began.
Right.
There's like, what would Grigor have to do for you to get to that spot?
Be misogynistic, be an abuser, you know, the things that a lot of the ATP guys already do.
Yeah, fair. I mean, he could have just mentioned Berrettini's looks. You know, he just lumped, he's like, listen, I've got game 2 here.
I mean, he knows. His fellow ATP players talk about his looks constantly. They're obsessed with him.
He loses that match today to Arthur Ferry. I would say chokes away the 4th set.
Mm-hmm.
It was up a break multiple times in that 4th set. Ferry played well, but he wasn't doing anything spectacular, you know?
Yeah, we've got to stop these silver spoon kids. We got to get him out of tennis.
Do we know he's
we do
silver spoon
His
fed?
dad is like a multiple hundred millionaire.
Arthur Ferry?
Yeah. They're from the Paris area. Like, he's French by birth.
Oh,
but he went to private high school.
So he's an archer
in London
as well.
He is. Yeah. We're probably not saying his name correct. We're not saying it in the French way, but yeah, he plays for the UK, but he was born in the Paris area. And his dad is extremely rich.
So many of these people are extremely rich.
They
Apparently,
yes.
Misael is from a little bit of coin as well.
That's what they say. I mean, don't...
And somebody said, but listen, it's Filipino coin. It's not like...
Like, first of all, that's crazy. That's kind of offensive, you know? But do not believe the propaganda that most tennis champions are working class, because historically, a lot of the ones we've come to love were, but that's, for the most part, it's not the case.
The Williams sisters, Sharapova.
Sure, like a number of the Eastern European players.
Wasn't Jimmy Connors not well off as well?
Yeah, but there is also
Gloria.
Yep, but there's also a difference between like the middle class and working class.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I also don't see why people are needing to defend these 100 millionaires Nepo spawn.
Yeah.
You know, like why is it surprising that people find issue with the extra privilege that they've had? Anyway,
but look at any comment section. It's actually harder for the wealthy. I'm not sure if you know that.
Yeah. I mean, they could just be fucking off and not doing anything, but the fact that they put in work to do something, it's commendable.
Yeah, like they could have turned out like Trump's kids.
Crazy.
All right. Felix Auger-Aliassime versus ADF. As you know, these are 2 of my faves. Like big time, top 5 faves. Felix wins in 5 sets and pulls Alejandro in and takes him to task at the net. Gives him a little lecture.
We were sitting beside each other while this was happening. Quite often during this tournament and the French Open, you're working while I'm downstairs.
Yeah.
So we're not consuming the matches together. You have multiple screens in your room.
I'm trying to keep one eye on.
You're like pretending you're in a meeting, like pretending to be, you know, paying attention in a meeting. Meanwhile, you're like, oh, what's going on over there? So we're watching the end of this match together, and I'm like, your faves are fighting. Your faves are fighting.
This was on a weekend, so I could watch it with undivided attention. We couldn't hear what was being said, but it was clear that it wasn't a friendly discussion. And I assumed that it was about Alejandro's injury. And he dealt with this, I believe, in the second set. And then in the fourth set, he collapsed on the ground, clutching his left foot. And it seemed to be this acute burst of pain. In the second set, the umpire came down and everything. Fourth set was while Felix was serving for the match, which is what really pissed him off. And he took a medical timeout during that game, came back. Felix failed to serve out the match, goes to a tiebreak, Alejandro wins, and now we're in the fifth set. He didn't have much to give in the fifth set, but they still got there. Right?
Felix played some of the best tennis I've ever seen him play in that fifth set, quite frankly.
Now, with a day to think about this...
Who, you or him?
For me.
Because Felix, he's 25 now. He's a married man. He had a come-to-Jesus moment at the French Open. He's going to stand on business, 10 toes down.
Yes. And I should say that Alejandro also came over to Felix's chair before he left the court, and it seemed like he was trying to explain himself or smooth things over.
Multiple times he tried to get Felix to shake his hand. He did not want to spoil this bromance. Because they've known each other a long time.
Yeah, like, I don't think there's going to be a long-standing beef here because they have known each other a while. But Felix was determined, like, no, I'm not standing down on this. I feel strongly about this.
Alejandro's like, but Felix, James is watching and he's going to be so distraught. We have to do better.
Exactly.
We can't let Elliot JMR see this.
In the press conference, Felix talked about the rule that allows a player to take a medical timeout on another player's serve, like during another player's service game. And he said, mark my words, the rule is a disgrace.
Disgrace.
And to be clear, he was talking about the rule, right? He never said anything about what he and ADF spoke about. He left that up to us to figure it out. He just said, I don't like the rule. It's a disgrace. Now, having 24 hours to think about it, I felt like Felix was a little bit rough on him, if I'm being honest.
Oh.
I do.
Ooh.
Because I don't think it was a fake injury. Like, I can certainly understand if you feel that Alejandro does too much. And he was doing a lot. But I think it was real. And it's also something that he has been dealing with this year. Like, it's not something he invented for this match.
But I don't think you have to think it's fake to still be valid in your thoughts about this. What Felix is saying is, you have this injury, I'm serving, you just lose these points.
Right.
And then you go do it. That's all Felix is saying. But which I agree with.
The medical timeout exists for a reason, and you can take it at that point for an acute injury, which it appeared to be.
Yeah. Sure.
All I'm saying, I
get where Felix is
I felt like he was a little rough on him. However, given that Felix is known to be this super nice guy, I also liked that he was standing up for himself.
I mean, sometimes the nicest presenting people are the biggest assholes.
Well, that's true.
We don't know. Right. I'm not casting aspersions. I'm just saying.
I don't know him.
We don't need to just blanketly think and believe that somebody is the nicest person ever and would never do something untoward.
Sure.
I get where they're both coming from. I just want them to be good.
Exactly.
For me. Right. Heal the world.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a better place.
Okay, you're still going. Felix will play Novak Djokovic next. Djokovic broke Roger Federer's record of 105 Wimbledon singles match wins. At this point, I'm convinced that Novak is only staying alive to beat these records. That's it.
Right, but then he's told that he's such and such match wins away from getting this record, but then there's Martina Navratilova's record, and he's like, hey, why are we moving the goalposts? Right. Do you want me to play till I'm 50?
But if you have an outside chance to win 25 slams, why not? Like, I don't blame him for still being out there trying.
Like, at this point, he can roll into Wimbledon any given year and have a shot. Do you think Felix has a shot?
Against Djokovic or like for the title?
Against Djokovic.
I think he has a shot if he elongates the match.
I think he has a shot if he plays like he did in that fifth set against Alejandro.
Mm-hmm.
Zeynep Sonmez. Let's talk about her.
Yeah. So she spoke this week about how her support of Palestine has been stifled by tennis tournaments. She said that tournaments have prevented her from wearing a Palestine flag pin, while the Ukrainian flag pin has been allowed. She's found a loophole. She's using a watermelon vibration dampener on her racket, and the tournament said that the watermelon thing is fine, that they don't feel it meets the threshold for, quote, causing any type of disruption. Tournament director Jamie Baker addressed the Ukraine thing, and he said, well, the Ukraine situation was unique, and due to, quote, government guidance and international support, they let it happen. I'm like, okay, that's not really a great answer.
So because governments in the West are okay with genocide.
Yeah, the Western governments support Ukraine, but they don't support Palestine. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Like, it's just about what's safe to support.
And so she's not allowed to wear the Palestine flag as a pin. She's doing the watermelon dampener. And for those of you who may be wondering, why is the watermelon a symbol of Palestine? We'll tell you. It's a symbol of Palestinian solidarity since 1967, when Israel banned the display of the Palestine flag in the West Bank and Gaza from 1967 to 1993. And so the watermelon became a symbol in its stead, because when you cut into a watermelon, the cross-section of it contains all the colors of the Palestinian flag.
Mm-hmm. So it was a way to get around the flag ban. I didn't realize that it went all the way back to the Six-Day War in 1967.
Tennis has a problem. The world has a problem. But specifically, the two-faced nature of Ukraine, Palestine in tennis, they have a huge problem.
Yeah, and it's also why I'm a little bit skeptical about some of the Ukrainian players who are like fully supportive of Israel's actions in Gaza and Lebanon, but expect us to line up on, like, I support Ukraine as well. But I also like think critically about other conflicts in the world, you know?
We've seen how tennis handled the Ukraine situation. To this day, players are playing without flags. Russian and Belarusian players are playing without flags. Tennis was swift with it. They were steadfast with it.
They were banned from playing Wimbledon.
Right? Lest we forget. And all somebody wants to do is wear a pin. Just a pin. And that can't be done. It is crazy. And that we're not hearing more about this is wild.
There are a few players in tennis that have spoken up about Palestine. Ons Jabeur, Mayar Sharif, Zeynep Sonmez. All of them are from the region, from either West Asia or North Africa. I'd be interested to see if anybody else is willing to speak up. Now, we didn't talk about this in the preview. The players were going to be continuing their 15-minute media protest at Wimbledon. And I'm glad we waited, because there was an update. They were going to, institute a 15-minute limit for their pre-tournament press. They were also going to limit their post-match press to 15 minutes for the entire first week. And on day one of the main draw, they withdrew that protest and said Wimbledon has committed to giving us a response, so we're going to suspend the protest. Wimbledon said they were going to address the three pillars of the player concerns, which is, if you remember, is prize money as a share of revenue, player welfare programs, and player consultation in major decisions. The US Open is already saying, don't worry, we're already in active dialogue about these three pillars, so don't boycott us. But same thing happened with Wimbledon, so we shall see.
The All England Club chair Debbie Jevons said, quote, using revenue to determine prize money makes no sense, and we have said that to Larry Scott. Dumb bitch. Revenue does not take into account the investment that we give. God.
She went on a Served podcast about 2-3 weeks ago, and to be fair, 90% of Wimbledon tournament profits go directly to the LTA. That's not revenue, that's profit. That's net.
So then give less. I don't know what to say. I mean, like, to be fair.
I will say the news that there was a possible boycott of the US Open mixed doubles has not found any traction. Jessica Pegula was asked, and she suggested that Jannik Sinner may have been acting alone on that one. She was not aware of any potential boycott. And you have to assume that Jessie would know. She is committed to playing.
Well, there you have it, folks. You heard it here 10th. That brings us to the end of our mid-Wimbledon episode. We've got what? What do we got? We got 8 singles matches left. 4 on each side. You're doing the math there. Quarterfinals.
And then 2 semis. And then 1 final.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's more after the quarterfinals, you know?
Who's the dumb bitch now? We got 8 singles matches in quarters.
Mm-hmm.
We got 4 in semis.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 in finals. So 8, 4, 2, that's what? 14. We've got 14 singles matches left.
And the conclusion of a 15th. That guy versus Lehechka.
Oh, whatever. With that guy. / rat. Well, my name is Jonathan. You can find me on Blue Sky at Tennis John.
And I'm James at ElliotJMR.
2 L's, 2 T's. Everything Body Serve related can be found at linktree.com/thebodyserve. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.
Merci à tous. Merci.